from The Sun. Paul Martina,
Hello
thanks
again
for sticking around and being with us. Let's start with this, excuse me, on the front of the Sunday Express. Formula One boffins could boost arms race. This is an individual who thinks that F1 can help us to make sure that we are battle-ready, huh?
That's right. It's an interesting front page. It's basically saying that Britain should harness the innovative skills within the motor racing to arm Britain for a potential conflict with Russia. Now, it's no secret that defence procurement in this country is slow and it's been riddled with mistakes in the past. It takes a long time. It's very expensive. Now, there is a plan to solve that the Labour government has put forward in the form of the Defence Investment Plan, which was meant to come after the Strategic Defence Review, which basically is a plan designed to move beyond the traditional procurement to a model that's more innovative and basically prepares our armed forces for potential conflict as well. Now it's been delayed, which means that there's lots of costs
There's an
because
irony
of that.
there, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. It's been delayed again. You know, obviously that causes lots of uncertainty for lots of programs that we've got at the moment, and also obviously this comes at a time where there's the conflict in the Middle East, and the MOD is asking for more money for defence. So I think we'll see, first of all, in the next few months, this defence investment plan coming forward finally, but also potentially maybe a timeline to get to that 3% of GDP on defence. There's lots of people in the military that are calling for that. We know there's a 28 billion hole in defence spending already. These like military chiefs a few months ago telling Keir Starmer that he's got to sort it out. So with everything happening, I know that there will be lots of discussions between the Treasury. Obviously, Rachel Reeves is now thinking about energy prices potentially going up, but I'm sure that lots of people in the armed forces are going to make the case for higher spending.
Yeah, and we do often hear the armed forces making that case, don't we? But given the war in Iran, given the ongoing war in Ukraine as well, do you think the public can get behind the idea of perhaps, you know, making certain sacrifices in order for spending to be directed towards defence?
I think the public feel that they've made quite a lot of sacrifices, that there have been over a decade of them, then post-COVID, that they're coming again. There was a call in the last week for getting rid of the two-child benefit cap, or rather to bring it back and use the money that was saved on that to pay for increased spending.
Idea, wasn't it?
But that's not going to go down particularly well either. So if Rachel Reeves is going to have to find the money for this, it's going to have to come from somewhere else. We are told that she's got some fiscal headroom at the moment that is going to be totally eaten up by the needs of energy costs and so on due to the new conflict. I should say that the situation that Martina laid out, all the facts and figures, that's incredibly detailed. That's not in this story. That's in the Express. that would have been useful to have in the Express story. This is just basically one bloke who used to work for Formula One saying, well, we can do it pretty well. And that then becomes the front page. Yeah, he's rubbing his hands. He is rubbing his hands today.
Please, the Martina. She gives us detail on that. So, there is a report that Rachel is going to find some money. That headroom she wanted to save as like a war chest for the next election to for tax cuts, but events have got ahead of her.
And also, I suppose, given that the May elections are coming and Labour are battered and bruised after Gordon, they want to show that they're able to do something positive for the country. And again, if everything that they're trying to do is ruined by world events that they don't really have any control of, it doesn't help them go into this next election element.
Let's move on to a totally different issue. This is the introduction of David Lammy's bill, which will see some jury trials scrapped.
That's right.
Those cases being heard by a judge-only court or magistrate. Suggestions of rebellion.
Yes, and ever since he's announced his plans to curb jury trials, there have been lots of Labour MPs, spearheaded by Carl Turner, saying they will vote against it. Now, the bill is coming to the Commons on Tuesday. I think we won't see the rebellion happening on Tuesday because it's second reading, which means MPs will vote on the principle of the bill. But at later stages, I'm sure there will be lots of amendments, and we will potentially see.
And it's right to say the rebels don't necessarily want to bring the bill down. They
exactly.
do want changes.
That's right. Carl Turner is saying we don't, we just disagree with this proposal, which is to curb jury trials, which will see defendants likely to be sentenced for less than 3 years, losing the right of a jury trial. So, yeah, I do think that we'll see probably a rebellion. I'm not sure the government is in a strong position right now. We have seen Keir Starmer being completely at the mercy of the PLP, of the Parliamentary Labour Party. So I do think that will potentially be some U-turn on this, but not this week.
Well, for what it's worth, I asked David Lammy about this on Friday. He said the government was going to continue to push it through and persuade them that this was the right, percentage backbench, this was the right course of action, despite them being against it, and the Bar Council, of course, being against it.
But I mean, he says that, or he said that then, will he say that at the start of the week? The thing about our parliamentary democracy is that these things have to have space to change. We want them to change if it is found that it is not going to be fit for purpose. And therefore, if there is a debate in Parliament and there are amendments, that's the way that we get the thing going.
Let's move on to the King, who is making a speech, a Commonwealth message, on Monday, on Commonwealth Day. This article in the Telegraph. I mean, there's what we've learnt about the speech. We haven't got the full speech, but we've learnt that he's going to refer to the conflict in Iran. I think he's making kind of broad message about conflicts generally, and that's the time to come together, hence the Commonwealth. I think that's the message, I think, that, as I understand it.
That seems to be the general feeling that he's trying to put across. This moment of unity, and it's a placatory message, and it's trying to get all 56 Commonwealth nations to think and feel as one in what are being described as challenging times. And he said that it's the quote that is used here said, across our world, communities and nations face increasing pressures of conflict, climate change and rapid transformation. And into this, he said, it's testing moments that the enduring spirit of the Commonwealth. So I guess the other side to this is that Cyprus, which is part of the Commonwealth, is feeling a little let down by everything that's happening because of their bases being attacked and Starmer not necessarily wanting to send anybody out there to help them. And in fact, in the Telegraph, on the page before, there was a story about some people campaigning to remove the British bases, saying that it's an old colonial hangover, which comes at the same time as this, which is quite an interesting thing. And I guess also the other side of this is that some Commonwealth nations are talking about stripping Andrew from the line of succession, so that is perhaps in the King's mind as well. And
it's the first time we'll see lots of royals together, I think, since a lot of this latest...
And Jerry Halliwell.
In Westminster Abbey, Shall we talk about doing DIY and swearing? We've only got,
this is great.
Got less than a minute, but cheer us all up with something less serious. Apparently, swearing makes us better at DIY.
Yes, some researchers from Keele University and the University of Alabama are saying that swearing or the use of taboo language may function as a kind of psychological warm-up to announce our motor skills for tasks that require manual precision,
so you have to
accuracy.
Before you do it.
Before you hit your thumb with the hammer.
I'm going to try with lots of things in my life. I don't think this should be just applied to DIY.
Not at this time in the morning.
Don't apply it.
Sorry. Foul mouth before we come on here.
Did she?
Exactly.
Out of sight.
That's what actors do, right? When you...
Exactly. Well, Anna, I can confirm to the nation. I want to hear it.
Sadly true.
Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you next time.
See you soon. Thank you.
The best thing about being a Sky News journalist?